What's up, my boy?
From that city with juice, ain't no pity or truces. When we dip and gun smoke's conclusive. Don't act clueless, hella foolish in the 90s. And GP shotgun when we ride. Solid on the yard, name hard on these streets. Did my crimes, gangster rhymes on dope beats. Still fuck laws, ain't no pause in our demeanor. Rest in peace, Muggsy and my road dog creeper. Ways to put it down, no fear of new cases. Years ago, though, it was guns and chases. 714 on my shoulders, kept it active. Roll like soldiers, G-code ain't passive. Still macking ratchet, still packed at the waist. Still stacking racks, still flash when they hate. Now it's podcasts and videos with pretty hoes. Me and George banging orange till the city's known, really though.
OG way. We keep it moving smooth like every day. Every day. They gonna know that homie, we don't play. It's going down for sure, for sure.
Real G's in this industry.
So they gon' know how we do it on these streets for sure. Streets for sure. We make that green, don't you know logo? We making moves all day, all day, all day.
Grew up in the streets of the LB. We don't love these hoes, is what they tell me. Packed up and moved to the OC. Me and George ballin' like Shaq and Kobe. Fuck bitches, get money, living wealthy. Bad bitches screaming, let me get a selfie. Big stop, GP, some real G's. Side dick is the general of an army. XG podcasting in the morning. Don't say FA, here's your warning. That other bullshit be boring. With some goofy ass question that's corny. Tommy, let me finish my story. Shooting shots, game 6, rubber Ori. Smoking blunts in the bus while I'm touring. Now welcome to George Perez Stories.
OG way. We keep it moving smooth like every day. Every day. They gonna know that homie, we don't play. It's going down for sure, for sure.
Real G's in this industry.
So they gon' know how we do it on these streets for sure. Streets for sure. We make that green, don't you know logo? We making moves all day, all day, all day, all day.
Welcome to the George Perez Stories.
What's up, my boy? George Perez right here of George Perez Stories, episode 333. George Perez Stories is brought to you by JB & Sons Tree Service Landscape and Installation. Look, people, if your lawn needs help, Halloween's coming up, your neighbor's going to be like, I ain't going on that lawn, that lawn's scary. Hit up my boys at JB & Sons Tree Service Landscape and Installation. They specialize in tree removal, stump removal, irrigation, landscaping, sprinkler system, installation. Look, anything. Hey, guys, and plus the whole crew is citizens. So if the migra comes, they're still going to mow the lawn, doggy dog. Hit them up on Instagram at JMBARRIOS12. X to the G, would it be?
What's up, dog?
I don't know, dog. You said that every episode.
I know. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I got the laundry in there. It's working.
You got your car back.
Got my car back. Yeah, I couldn't go to Skankfest.
Yeah, do you have music now? Do you have a CD player at least?
Nah, I always have an aux, but...
Oh, my God. Well, yo, everybody, you know what's up. It's George Perez Stories, episode 333. And, still bringing the homies, eh? And then you meet new homies that are, like, gifted and talented. You're like, yo, dog, I want my other homies to see you, dog. You know, it's kind of like Biggie, you dog. Your friends, my friends. We can do this every weekend. Right. Blowing up the scene right now, guys. My boy right here, Diamond Ortiz in the building. What's up, my boy?
What's up, cool world?
Hell yeah, dog.
What's up, George? Thank you, big dog, for having me on. It's an honor to be here. What's up, X?
What's up,
That's
dog?
what's up.
What's cracking? Happy to be here,
And,
brothers.
and you're a funk freakero, right, doggy dog? You're funk freaks.
All day.
That's what's up.
All day, every day. Almost 10 years deep. Been rocking with the crew since 2014 was my first show with the crew.
Where?
My first show was at OG Mike's.
Oh, shit.
And if you don't know, you won't know. OG Mike's
shit.
the one, the only epicenter of this whole street funk movement, man.
Was it your first time there ever, too?
Yeah, it was my first time ever. It was on my first like little, mini tour, my foray into Southern California funk world, man. 2013-14. I played at Funkmosphere with Eddie Funkster, XL
That's what's
Middleton,
up.
and Dame Funk. They brought me there. Then the next night I did OG Mike's, man, and it was, it was the stuff.
It was another level, huh?
Legends are, the stuff like dreams are made of, legends are created from.
Right.
And then the next night we did San Diego, and that was way back 9 years ago.
Damn.
Now we're doing these things, man, at the observatory, and they're huge, and it's just awesome, man. Been rocking with the guys for many moons. So shout out to the Funk Freaks,
Straight up.
all the Funk Freaks worldwide. What's cracking?
Do you remember the first song you played at OG Mike's that night?
Yeah, it was. It was. We go together like Saturday and Sunday, baby. We go together like Saturday and Sunday.
That's
and I
what's
used to
up.
start off shows with
Hey,
that.
that's smooth, dog. This fool say we go together like
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday.
We go together like Saturday and Sunday. And I don't know if anybody knows this. I don't know if I ever really told anybody, but that title came from a Reese's peanut butter commercial. And they said chocolate and peanut butter. They go together like Saturday and Sunday. And I said it. And, I have like a working list of song titles that's like thousands just of lines of just little ideas. But I threw that on my list, and it became a song. We go together. And that was the first song on my album, Love Line, that came out in 2016. But that song had already been, one of my numbers for, at least 3-4 years at that point when that song came out.
I like as a comedian, for me to get recognized, I go when I do open mics and I meet other artists.
Oh, yeah.
How did you, when did you start, what's the network that you guys are in? How did you meet Funk Freaks, and because you make funk too?
Yeah, well, I'm from the Bay Area. I grew up in the Bay Area, and I grew up playing music. And I grew up playing music, old school, but when you're Bay Area, NorCal, and, when you're talking about 10, 15, up to 20 years ago, when you talk about funk, Bay Area, it's different. It's not L.A., SoCal,
Of course.
Orange County gangster, lowrider, street funk. It's different. It's wah-wahs, congas,
Oh.
it's funk. It's funky. It's more
I got you.
It's more roller skates and disco balls. But my big brother, Gabriel Diamond Ortiz, is who taught me music and brought me into the fold. He started playing with the OGs, a.k.a. the old school groovers, a.k.a. the old guys, the real Oakland, old black dudes that really played funk when he was young, and I was the younger brother that would tag along. So that's where I learned my funk. But I've been obsessed with this shit since I was a kid. And fast forward all these years, I think, by the time I'd finally kind of shifted from playing in bands and playing with my brother and playing with the old guys to being at home, making records and threw them online. And then within the first couple weeks, man, I just put it up on Facebook, and I think somebody put something here. And then anyway, somebody hit me up named Eddie Funkster, my motherfucking dog. That's still all these years later one of my best friends. And he hit me up. What's up, compa? I'll never forget it. What's up, compa? Hey, how come I haven't heard of you? That shit is funky. We got to meet. And then him and Lure and Nay from Funk Freaks came up one weekend to play a little DJ gig in Oakland. And I went to go meet them, and that was 2013. And a few months later was the first time I actually came down to do the shows with the guys.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dog.
But so that's how I came to them. And so when you talk about, what you just asked me, the network, and now it's evolved into this whole thing, man. There is this whole scene. There's this whole context around it. And we all just know each other, and
game recognized game.
And game recognized game, and we're all contributors. You know what I mean? We're contributors, and so it's we're the ones that really be thinking about this shit. Okay, how do we take this whole thing to the next step? You know what I mean? To the next whatever it's supposed to be.
Mic up for you.
Yeah, my bad. My bad. But yeah, and it's evolved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's evolved, the network, and You know, the few people, the nucleus. The nucleus has stayed the same, but a lot of shit around it has evolved.
Yeah, I mean, hey, dog, you just played for, what was that called, for the dedication of Art Lebeau, or you guys,
Yeah.
what did you guys do?
That shit was cracking. Yeah, they hit me up. Shout out to the good people from Dub Lab and Hello Stranger.
That's what's up.
We're throwing this thing at Grand Performances, which is this amazing venue downtown LA. It's like this little like plaza in between a bunch of skyscrapers with like a little lawn and a big stage and like little sculptures and shit behind you. So it's this amazing little like venue kind of in this little plaza. Fit 4,000 people, and they hit us up.
Damn.
And we went to go rock, man, and I played 4 songs, and it was a great night, man. A lot of people there, like the vibe was just electric. And that night I went and I channeled my musical hero Johnny Guitar Watson, man, because normally I come out there, I play my funk, my hard electric funk. That night I got to play my oldies, man, and really play my blues shit, because that's my roots, man. I'm a blues man, you know. I'm a roots musician.
Who's the first blues fool that you caught on to?
Well, there's many, man, and my very favorite one from the jump is Johnny Guitar Watson.
Okay, there it is.
Johnny Guitar Watson. Shout out to my dad for showing us. My dad is the coolest guy in the world. Albert Ortiz, Big Al, the #1 OG. Big Al, you know, music lover and hell of a guy. But he had the Johnny G CD that came out in the late 90s called Johnny G Bow Wow. And that had all the hits like Look Me Up and Hook Me Up. And all that kind of shit. And I was like, oh, man. And so to this day, musically, man, I still model myself after Johnny G.
That's
you know,
what's
and
up.
Johnny G is my guy, man. He played all the instruments, a total visionary, unsung hero, master of rhythm and blues, you know.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
I feel you, man. It's an art and like it's a gift, but after the gift, it's sacrifice and more that you put in.
Oh, absolutely.
Straight up, right?
It you know, it depends how bad you want it. My big brother would always say to me, man, you're only as funky as you want to be. You know, and that's a fact, man. You're only as funky as you want to be. And you can take that however you want, you know. And you can think about it as that's a spiritual mantra, man. Funky as you want to be. How funky do you want to be?
Yeah, some strippers are like, I'm funky.
I think we're talking about a similar, equal, but separate kind of funk, maybe.
They,
I don't know.
they smell funky.
Hey, man, but that's the funk, and that's what the whole genre of music is named after.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Can you play some for us, dog? Because you were playing some earlier,
Yeah, play
and
some.
like
Let me fire up a little
right now,
track.
I know. Hey, all the listeners right now, yo, check this out, guys. We got Diamond Ortiz in the building, and he's gonna play some stuff for us. First time we've ever done it, dog, where we've had someone play their own. So
Yeah, let me do this. Check it out.
hell yeah.
We got this Bluetooth speaker. Let me fire it up. It's called Digits.
Oh, baby. Yeah, yeah. Oh, mama. Show my mama, yeah.
Now check it. Let me sing it for y'all.
Oh, baby. Smoke my love and I wanna give you mine. Digits. Smoke my love and you can call me anytime. Well, she's a lady in the streets, but she's a freak in the sheets. A people pleaser, she's so unique. The way she rock it, way she pleases me. Well, my love, it's all for you, girl. So swap it before it's too late, girl.
George Perez Stories.
What's up, my boy?
Diamond Ortiz in the house. Thank you for having me, big dog.
Oh, baby, swap my love and I wanna give you mine. Digits. Swap my love and you can call me anytime. Digits. George Perez. Baby. Oh, baby, smoke my love and I wanna give you my Digits. Smoke my love and you can call me anytime. Digits. Yeah.
Yo, dropping the heat right there, dog.
Ah, man, it ain't no thing but a chicken wing on a string from Burger King. You feel me?
I feel you too, dog. And you know what I like about it too, dog? It's original and it's pure, and I can feel your emotion in it, player.
Ah, thank you very much.
You know, you're not copycatting at all. Like, you're doing some shit that you're like, yo, get my fucking digits, girl.
Yeah, well, you
But
know.
smoothly, nicely.
Yeah, thank you. So for me, man, you know, I was like I was saying, I was fortunate to really hang around these old guys and dig the way they play and the way they kick it and the shit that they listen to and really understand the trajectory of the art form. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not coming from, you know, just me personally. There is no right or wrong way. But me, I'm not coming from DJ shit. I'm not coming from producer shit. I'm coming from playing funk with the old guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And learning. And my first love when I was a little boy, 11, 12 years old, was doo-wop and 50s music and R&B and all that shit. And so you got to understand that funk is just an evolution of that. Funk is doo-wop on drugs plugged directly into the hydraulic switch.
Straight
you know
up.
what I mean? And so funk is part of a trajectory of a living, breathing art form called rhythm and blues, you know?
Yeah.
And then when you get down to brass tacks and you're talking about this kind of street funk and you're talking about talk box and all this shit, you know, talk box is a, you know, it's something like, I think about it like what if you were an anthropologist or an alien from outer space, you're trying to understand it, you know? Talk box is a regionally...
You can talk to aliens with this motherfucker?
Yeah, but Talkbox is a regional art form. It belongs here. You know, you can't really anywhere else in the country might not really make sense.
Nah.
This is a regional art form that belongs to this style of music. That's from right here, belongs to the people here, lives and breathes right here, and evolves right here. You know what I mean?
Who's the inventor of the talk box? Who was the first? Was it Zapp or Roger? Or
I don't know.
See? Yes. Thank you, dog. Give us some game on
so
it.
it goes back. There have been many iterations and like several evolutions of the concept of like a talking instrument. And there's even videos where you can see like ancient tribal motherfucking Vietnamese fools have this thing, which in concept is a talk box. One dude has a straw that he blows out of his mouth. I'm telling you, he blows out of a straw, and then another one goes up to the other end and goes to the other end of it. And it's like a talk box. They was doing that shit out in the motherfucking jungle for thousands of years.
Shit.
And so fast forward to like early, you know, like 1920s, 30s, the military invented something called a vocoder, a vocal encoder, so you could send messages, little voice messages over telegram lines. And that evolved into something called a Sonovox, which is used. You can find videos in the 30s of motherfuckers using the Sonovox. Basically, it's like instead of the sound coming out of the tube, it comes out of two, like, imagine big-ass headphone speakers onto your neck that goes so loud that the sound like comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And so one dude would play the shit that would come out of the speakers on like a steel guitar or a guitar, and it would come out. And then his wife, his name is God, what is this motherfucker's name? I'll pull it up.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? You made it sound like thing that people talk, hey, what's going on? Like that?
It's basically the same thing, but imagine so that is one note. Baby. But imagine playing it musically, it becomes
Musical, and you can play the melody like this.
but if it's just one note.
If it's just one note,
Yeah.
it sounds like this, like the motherfucker on South Park and shit.
You know what I'm saying? But so, man, I read a whole article about this guy, and I'm just pulling a blank because I'm on the spot. But he invented something called his singing guitar, and he would plug a guitar through a Sonovox, and his wife would be backstage and do it into a microphone. Then there would be like a little mannequin that would look like it was singing the sound that came out of it. You know what I mean? And it was called the singing guitar. And then fast forward, there was a country guy in like the 50s, 60s named Pete Drake. And many people have seen that video that goes around on Instagram. You ever seen it?
No.
Country western dude, forever. And he's playing a steel guitar.
Yeah?
Yeah, and he's playing the talk box in the 60s. And he was a pioneer of like, of, you know, it was getting closer, you know, to what we now know as it. So he would do it as a steel guitar, a pedal steel. And you can think about it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And he would just put the tube, put it through an amp, and then the amp output through a tube that goes into your mouth. And, he would form the words. And then he was on, I think the story goes, he was on a bunch of records. He was like a studio player. And he was on a record for George Harrison. And he met a young Peter Frampton at that time and showed Frampton the talk box. And then Frampton took it really far with his guitar, doing the Frampton thing. And then Frampton met Jeff Beck, who took the idea of that. And then Jeff Beck became homies with Stevie Wonder, who saw Jeff Beck doing it with the guitar. And he said, hey, fucker, let me do it with my keyboard.
Damn.
And so Stevie was the first one to do it with the keyboard. And then Roger got it from Stevie to plug a keyboard into a talk box.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was like
Roger's one of the most known, though, right?
Absolutely. And he was the one who kind of made it.
Rock star?
He was the first rock star of the talk box for sure, but he was the one who made the talk box adhere to funk.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't necessarily, there was funk and then there was talk box and they were here, but Roger was the one that put it together and really brought that vision to life and made it that supersized, electronic funk thing that just goes hand in hand. And that's why it's like, the funk belongs to the talk box now. And the talk box belongs to the funk. I mean, it's like, you could do it on other genres, but it's like, it belongs there.
Does T-Pain use the talk box?
Well, no, he uses something entirely different called auto-tune, which is different. So the talk box is basically a speaker in a box, and then I play my keyboard, and the sound comes out of the tube. I'm not singing.
Oh.
Watch this. So it just sounds like that. But then if you put it in your mouth and start to shape that sound, that's how the talk box works. So the sound comes out of your mouth.
Yes.
And then he sings into something that just corrects your notes. Like, it can detect what note you're singing, and if it's a little bit off, it just pins it to the right note. So that's how auto-tune works. But
so auto-tune's like Viagra.
Sort of, yeah. It just makes you supersized. Like it makes your shit like perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes your shit like whatever you're doing, it takes it and makes it better. Is what I mean. Yeah.
Speaking of Viagra, dog, I remember one time I was hiding one from my lady, and I hid it in my shoe and shit, and I forgot it was there and sweated out. My foot was swollen.
You're like, what the fuck? Your foot had a hard on for 4 hours or more.
Yeah. I was like, I had an Apple Watch on, and it was like, yo, that right foot took 2,000 steps more than the left foot.
Your shit is just like.
Xavier, have you ever had to use Viagra? Are you 30 yet?
Yeah, Blue Chew. All the time, Blue Chew. And I only take half, though.
What's a Blue Chew? That sounds like bubblegum.
Nah, Blue Chew is like a...
That's how they market it. They try to make it sound good, so you just munch on them.
Yeah, it's chewable Viagra.
No way.
Yeah.
You eat half the bear?
like a Flintstone. Just chew it, dog. Just take half of it. Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm going to Barney Rubble this shit.
Dude, they're good if Sam Tripoli uses them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Blue Chew.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is like... The talk box is the same thing, though. This is Viagra for music. It's perfect. Like, it just puts your shit right there in the pocket. You're perfectly in tune.
Yeah, but not anybody can do what you do. You got keyboard skills as well,
have to
player.
Be able to play the keyboard.
Because hey, look, guys, you're not seeing this keyboard. He has keys. Then he has knobs on the side. Then he has switches.
Yeah.
See, that's hard right there, doing it like that.
So how much does one of those run you?
They're not expensive. I mean, the keyboard. This is like a special one in this color, but even still, I mean, I think I got it for $300 off OfferUp. And then the talk box itself is $150, $175, and so it's not like an expensive rig, but it's something that requires mastery of several different levels.
Can you explain that mastery of hand, vocal, and?
Yeah, I mean, so first you got to know what you want to sing. You got to know how when that beat hits, how you want to come and sing on it, how you sing like how you want to do it. Then you got to learn how to play that. If you're a guy like me that thinks in melodies but isn't the world's best singer, You know what I mean? So it's like you could play the beat and you're like, okay, the vocal should go like this. Okay, that's step 2. Then you got to learn how to like. It's like what do they say? Pat your stomach and rub your head, like do 2 separate things at once. You know, so you gotta play, and then you're also forming the words here. Oh wow, baby, baby, baby. You know, so you're forming the words and you're doing that. You're listening to the beat, and you're also expressing yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's also like you have to make it sound good. You know, you're not just hitting buttons and
yeah. Hey.
So it requires like finesse, you know, and then it's a trip because when you think about how the talk box works, after how I was just explaining, like, you know, how it goes into your mouth when you do this, basically the psychedelic, like if you want to get trippy on it and think about the whole shit like this, it's like, okay, so what is a synthesizer? It's a basic oscillator, just that goes through all the different knobs and you form it, you know what I mean? Then it comes out and you play it with this and it comes out sounding cool. So the talk box, this is just a basic oscillator. And you put it in your mouth, you become the synthesizer. You become the thing that forms and shapes it. You know what I mean? So you become this living, breathing motherfucking synthesizer. And so whether or not people know it, they look at you doing it, and if you're doing it right, they'll be like, hey, this guy's doing something really cool. Like, I feel it. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm fucking with it, and it's cool, and like it hits you right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you learn how to like really play and like hit those home runs like mid game and go and like hit those notes where people are like, damn, like I felt that. You know, they're seeing like you being the synthesizer in the moment, whether or not they put those words to it. You know,
that's what's up.
And it's a trip because, you know, it's like not everybody plays guitar or you know, or anything that somebody could do well. Not everybody does that, but they can dig when somebody does it. But everybody speaks and can hum, and so when somebody does something cool vocally, you understand it. You're like, oh, he's doing something really cool.
Oh,
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand you. Like when I see a comedian up there, and I'm like, yo, damn. Like
he's doing something dope.
He's
really
doing
spinning
something,
it.
yeah. Like, yo, dog, how
It's
come
like
I
it's-
didn't think of that?
Yeah, you know. And
You
all
know?
that shit.
Hey, congrats to you, player.
He did it, and that's when
Yeah.
somebody's tapped in.
It's like beatboxing.
It's like
I've seen
beatboxing.
someone do beatbox, and you're like,
it's
whoa.
It's like jazz.
Yeah?
It's like a great game of baseball or football.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like the thing that happens in that moment where you're really like you're riding that wave of it happening right now. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Did your dad name you Diamond?
Diamond is my last name. Diamond Ortiz is our last name.
Oh, wow.
So I have a hyphenated last name. My first name's Jeremy. What up?
That's
What
what's
up?
up.
And me and my brothers were all Diamond Ortiz.
Damn.
So my mom's whole side of the family is last name Diamond, and my dad's whole side is Ortiz.
Spansaw?
Yeah. And so we're the Diamond Ortiz boys, me and my 2 brothers. And originally Diamond Ortiz was me and my big brother's band. You know, he's who taught me. He's the guitar virtuoso since he was like 12, man, playing Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan like a motherfucker. His guitar teacher at the local music store was a guy named Jerry Cortez, who he's been a longtime guitar player for Tower of Power for like 20 plus years now.
Those are my boys right there.
Yeah, so Jerry Cortez is who taught my big brother, and then Gabe is who taught me. And we were our family band, and we thought, like Van Halen, we're Diamond Ortiz.
Yeah.
So that's how that came about. And then, you know, we're brothers, and we...
Yeah. Are they proud that you got the name out there right now and shit?
Yeah. You know, it's a trip. Like, as much as I explain it to them and show them videos... they understand, but they couldn't really understand like just how cracking this whole thing is right now.
Dude, it's cracking, dog.
It's cracking, and we go to these shows, and you know, it's dope, and it's something I take. It's a responsibility I take seriously and proudly to be
That's
able to
what's up.
represent this art form and this music, and you know, and Diamond Ortiz is something I grew into and learned how to become even more than something that is like, you know, I am 24/7 or like Diamond Ortiz is what I call the thing that I do.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Diamond Ortiz is what I call the
That's
thing.
a way of life.
Yeah, it's the thing that I do. It's this Diamond Ortiz thing, you know? And then I started putting out music after all those years of us playing in bands, I started putting it online, and it's like, what are you going to call it? Well, just Diamond Ortiz, because that's what we called our band. And then Diamond Ortiz was somebody people thought I was.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's up, Diamond? And then I became Diamond Ortiz, and I learned how to do it like that.
That's what's
you know
up.
what I
They're
mean?
like, yo, homie, we're claiming you, eh?
Yeah, you know, and I'm a motherfucker. It's
That's hard, though.
It's the honor of my life, and it's something I've had to learn how to grow into.
Yeah.
And I shout out to my dog, man, my big homie, Little Rob, who I spent years playing shows and doing.
Oh
talk
shit!
box
So
for.
you were using his vocals in his background?
No, I would come on stage and play my talk box with him on stage. You know what I mean?
Oh shit!
And I learned a lot from him on how to be a fool like that. Like, you know, a fool that, you know, when you pull up to a show, people might want to take a fleek out with you, and people tell you, "Hey, I love your stuff," and hey, that's so cool, and that's
hell yeah,
that's something
give love back.
I learned a lot seeing how he rolled and seeing the kind of person he was, and you know, all those years I didn't even really know it at the time, but that was how I learned how to really be Diamond Ortiz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I show up on these things, come real creased,
respectful,
respectable. Like, man, if anybody gives a fuck enough about me to want to take a picture, hey, the least I could do is make sure my shit ironed.
Yep.
I'm cool. You know what I mean? I'm gracious, and so I give a lot of credit to that motherfucker. Just learn how to roll.
Yeah, no, hey, man.
Being around that motherfucker, soaking up game.
Yeah.
And so I consider him a mentor of sorts in that way.
That's what's up. Yeah, in comedy it's the same way, you know. Like at first you're a opener, then you're the feature, and then you're just like watching how fools do it. And sometimes you're like, damn, this was a cool though. You know,
we know
you
a lot of
learn.
them. I mean, how many motherfuckers you seen at this point in the game, you know, come and go? Motherfuckers that was supposed to be the next big thing, and they had their moment.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then they just disappear, and
So
they
like,
come
man,
and
this
go.
fool works at Target, eh?
And they shot their whole and they shot their whole shot really early in the game, and you see them kind of fizzle out, and you know, so God willing, man. I mean, I started playing open mics and shit about 2003, 4
Oh, wow.
with my big brother.
Well, describe an
in
open
the Bay
mic
Area.
that you go to. Is it like a poetry? Is it an open song mic?
Well, there were several like iterations of, you know, what an open mic was.
Hold
in
on,
the Bay.
what's iteration for? Hey, I went to continuation school.
An iteration means like a version.
Thank you.
You know.
Hey, did you know what that meant?
Nah, fool. Solo word of the day right there.
Hey, wait, yeah,
Hey,
that's
say
right.
it again.
That's the name of my Soldies group. I just coined it, the iterations.
That's it, right?
the iterations.
Hell
that
yeah.
shit goes hard. But so like there was a few versions of like what an open mic was in the Bay Area in the early 2000s, like
Okay.
2003, 4, 5. And me and my big brother used to pull up, and man, we was wild boys. We were little kids, and we were just coming for their neck, you know.
Straight up.
And he had his guitar, and I had my bass, and we were I slapped the shit out of that motherfucker. I couldn't sing yet. This was almost 10 years before I even got me a talk box, or maybe
fuck.
more like 5, 6, 7 years. But, you know, we would just go up there with our bass. My brother would play his guitar solos. We would get on our knees, and you know what I mean? He would put his guitar behind his head, and he would go hang from the motherfucking rafters and walk on people's tables, and we was just going buck wild.
Damn.
So we would come to these open mics where it was like white girls with their guitar, like, la, 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 la. And then they'd be like, the Diamond Ortiz brothers. And we would come up, boy, and go fucking just go buck wild. And you know, that's the spirit. I still come when you see me on stage. You know, Diamond
Straight
Ortiz.
up.
I come
Hell
out there,
yeah.
I come out there with that, you know,
Dog, I did
electric punk rock energy.
Yeah,
and,
I did,
And that's why people feel it. You know.
Yeah, we did a rehearsal for the Fools Gone Wild at the YouTube Theater. Dog.
Yes, wasn't that a cool day? And
Hell
Esteban
yeah,
Arroyo was
dog.
there.
Esteban was there. Little
and
Mystery was there.
and
The DJ Hernandez.
Babo.
Babo.
DJ Perro.
Yeah, DJ Perro. And yo, dog, it's a trip, dog, because the homie rented this badass studio in Hollywood,
That's
dog.
a famous studio. That's
Right?
called the Sir Studios. That's like, you know, that's just like Hollywood soundstage.
Hey, homie, I was watching this fool rehearse his song, and I remember I learned something that day. I was like, you know what, dog? I should do this in comedy because I never rehearsed the lineup. I was like, maybe I can have something fresher.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's a trip, dog.
I rehearse, you know, every gig I play. I always
You do the set list before, like,
morning of in my room in my chonies with
Fuck
my
yeah,
glasses on,
dog.
run it. You know, because that's what jazz musicians call wood shedding. You know, you got a wood shed. You got to play your shit. Make sure your fingers talking to your brain. Make sure you're feeling it. And and even if it's like, You know, so I think of it like my set list that I create. It's always evolving, but it's like it's like if I was a BMX rider, it's like that's my course.
Yeah.
So you could run it 100 times, but you're going to do it a little bit different each time. You're going to do it a little better sometimes, miss this, do that, you know. But if you run that course in the morning once or twice, any mistakes you would have made on stage, at least you make them in your room. So that way it's like your synapses, man.
You know, like, hey, I slacked last
You
time.
right there. So that way I can put on my Lokes so I don't make eye contact with nobody. I put them on so I don't, you know. I look at one motherfucker, I get all fucked up. Put on the Lokes, and hey, it's just like I'm in my room. I'm just running that course. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just doing it, and I'm just dialed in. I've already woodshedded that morning. And so rehearsing is another one of those things like ironing your clothes. It's respectful. You got to rehearse. If a motherfucker
look who
care
you
enough,
talking to,
yeah,
dog.
come on. If a motherfucker care enough to come see you, hey, man, we're going to be clean. We're going to be rehearsed. We're going to give you a good show, you know, where we're really, like, upholding all this shit we talking about.
Yeah.
And
hey, homie, I get my shit dry cleaned, then I bring it back, and then I hit it. You know what I mean?
Hit it
I'm
with
just
the double starch.
The other day he had a brand new shirt from the store, and I
Still
like those brand new wrinkles. Like when you know it's a brand new shirt, he didn't even want the brand new wrinkles.
See, I like the
dog.
brand new wrinkles.
Yeah, the brand new wrinkles. Like people know it's a brand new. George is
No,
like, get rid of those
finally.
wrinkles.
In my years mobbing with Little Rob, you know, that's a pre-show ritual. You know, it's like we can forego sound check. Fuck a sound check. As long as we had that hour for him to iron his shit, he would do it.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things that motherfucker would do that I never seen anybody do, he would roll with a bottle of he wouldn't use starch, he would use Aquanet or hairspray, really hard hairspray.
He didn't give a fuck about those pants.
No, he didn't because it was better. It was thicker. You know
Yeah,
what I
it
mean?
was
He's
just
like,
gonna leave a little line sooner or later, but he could throw them away. He has feria, dog.
no, you do it. No, not even like that. He's like my big sister showed me this back in the day. She would do it with
Right.
Aquanet, and you spray with the Aquanet, then you put the bandana on top of it, and you iron the
Yeah.
bandana on top, of course, so it don't get shiny. But that was a whole part of like that was
Yeah.
pre-show ritual.
Some people
pre-show
use
routine.
sugar and water.
Yeah, fuck.
It's crazy.
That's real starch. I guess that's what
Yeah.
the shit is, huh?
Well, hey, doggy dog, we're about to take a break. You want to leave us with a little jam right now, dog? You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it. I'm just gonna hit a little something like this.
Hell yeah.
You know I've been searching for someone to share that special love with me. Your eyes, they have that glow. Could it be your face I see on my computer screen?
George Perez Stories, episode 333. Diamond Ortiz in the house. Thank you for having me, y'all. Much love.
That's what's up. Gracias.
That's right.
And we're back like a hood rat in the Cadillac waiting for the zigzag. George Perez Stories is also brought to you by Gunther's, located in downtown Santana. Look, if you're looking for the flyest Pendleton, they got everything else. They got the pants, they got the Dickies, the Solos, the Ben Davis. They got the ones that they threw Santana and American Me off the fourth tier.
Right.
Hit up my boys at Gunther's, located in downtown Santana. And you know what, guys? Blessing you one more time. My boy in the building, Diamond Ortiz. Hit him, my boy.
That's right. George Perez in the motherfucking house. Brand new. Customized by Diamond Ortiz off the latest album. Shout out to the Funk Freaks. All the Funk Freaks worldwide. Let's go.
Calling all freaks, report to the dance floor. Calling all freaks, report to the dance floor. I don't care, just wanna ride. Hit the switch, side to side. Chromed out, zoned out, top down, and music loud. And want to cruise, baby. Yeah, baby. And I just want to cruise, baby. Yeah, calling all freaks, report to the dance floor.
Customized, baby. Customized, baby. Customized, customized, customized just for you. Yeah.
Yo, my boy.
That's right.
No, that's on your latest one, right?
Yeah, that's off the latest one, man. That's a little number I like to call customized.
Yeah, and like, you know what's crazy is like the cholo in me, I thought you were talking about her eyes are so beautiful, they're customized.
Ooh, I like that. That sounds like an even doper song than this one. This one's just about, baby, jump in my whip and let's take a cruise.
Okay, and your car is customized.
Customized. Well, really, the original concept for the song, I wanted it to be like customize my loving any way you like it, like it's just for you. But really, it turned out to just customize, jump in my car, let's fucking go. like really, that's how it ended up. But
You're like, I want to love you, but jump in the car.
just jump in the car. Let's be out. But my heart was in the right place with it.
Oh,
you know?
exactly. That's what's up, doggy dog.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time, homie. You're playing the jams, and you know,
Man,
like,
me too,
as,
big dog, and I'm
thank
happy to
you.
be here.
Fuck
Thank you for
yeah.
the invite, man, and it's an honor. It's an honor to be here.
But
brother.
just like as an older person, the trip I was sitting here going, wow, the homies making funk still live.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of homies ain't putting new shit out.
Yeah.
And you're making it live still, dog.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's I think that's the aspect that I take most seriously as a living, breathing art form. And there's a lot of, a lot of things that pop up out there. A couple times a year, you'll see this that's funk influenced, or this kind of funk, or that kind of funk, and it's either modern funk, or it's like, something that's got just a little sliver of it. But there's very few things that are actual, pure, uncut funk, living and breathing, evolving in this moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Living and breathing, really with, feet on the street at the parties, connecting with the people that consume it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you could work with anybody in funk, dead or alive, who would it be?
Yeah, once again, Johnny Guitar Watson
Yeah?
would be my guy.
You wouldn't want to work with Rick James?
I would love to work with Rick, but Johnny is my guy, though. Johnny is my motherfucking, that's my dog.
Yeah, I feel you. You're going with it.
And the same way I come from a certain school and carry a certain torch.
Okay, I feel you, dog.
He came from his own and was carrying this torch. And so, like, and that's the shit that spoke to me. So it's like, that's who I would want to work with. So when we talk about connecting dots and keeping this thing alive, man, it got to go back to the root.
Yep.
You know? And there's, many shades of it out there, and some like the way he do it, and some like the way she do it.
Yeah.
But it's just about who speaks to you,
Yeah.
And Johnny Johnny Guitar Watson is my guy.
Yeah, that's what's up. I feel you, man.
Yeah.
What about you, X? If you're a singer, dog, you could sing or rap with anybody.
What
dead
song
or
would you
alive.
sing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dead or alive?
Yeah.
Man, can I go Mexican?
Anything.
Ramon, fucking. Man.
Yeah,
Vicente
you're
Fernandez
you're
because
from
he's dead.
Sinaloa,
No, Vicente
dog.
Fernandez because he's dead, dog.
You're from
R.I.P.
Sinaloa, dog.
I know,
R.I.P.
no, but Vicente Fernandez, and here's the reason why.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I would want to make a song because my grandma loves him, and my grandma's pretty old, so I think he would fucking be like, oh, that shit's dope as fuck. Because she
Right.
listens to that for every day, and I'm like, bro, if
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, homie. They got AI now. AI.
Dude, it's
Vicente.
it's a matter of time till someone does that.
Fuck, fool.
That's crazy. Dog.
Yeah. But yeah, I like Johnny Guitar Watson. See, I like guys like because Johnny Guitar Watson is a
It's a dope name.
yeah. I mean, are you aware of him?
No.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Hey, what
Yeah.
race you think he is?
He's probably white.
Nah, he's black, dog. He's got to be black.
Yeah, absolutely. Johnny Guitar Watson.
Yeah, he's black,
He
dog.
said absolutely. No, because
number one soul brother of the universe.
Okay.
And he's the one who put out, have you ever heard Ain't That a Bitch? Somebody doing something slick. You ever heard that? Or you ever heard
No.
Real Motherphoria, the album where he got his mother pushing him in a gold little baby cart, and he's all pimped out with the Jerry curl and the gold teeth.
Oh,
and
shit, that's
he's
hard.
He's the number one pimp player of the funk and rhythm and blues. But man,
Okay.
he started in the 50s.
Oh,
But just
shit.
his style of showmanship, blues man, soul man is Roger Troutman. You know, so it's like it's an archetype. And there's a
Yeah.
few cats through the ages. Guitar Slim, Johnny Guitar Watson, Roger Troutman. He falls right in that line, you know. And those are the guys that just musically
I
and
got you.
spiritually
He's
spoke,
like Dr.
spoke
J.
to me. Yeah,
It
exactly.
was, you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
yo, this is who
So-
Jordan
so-
and them was watching.
Yeah, so Johnny Guitar Watson, I mean, man, he goes back. His first records, he was like 12, and he was little Johnny Guitar Watson playing a song called
Damn.
Space Guitar. And like this was like mid-50s, like this was before rock and roll was really a big thing. And he was here in L.A. He was from
No
Texas,
way.
but he grew up here in L.A. And he had a song, and then it's him playing piano on the song called The Pachuco Hop. Like, they were playing these dances in the 50s, you know, black dudes from probably South Central.
Texas.
Well, from Texas, but that, you know, that their parents migrated to LA.
Yeah.
And then they would come play these parties, you know, the Art Laboe parties in
Yeah.
East LA. That's where people really loved his music, you know.
Yeah.
So he was playing, that's him on piano on the Pachuco Hop by Chuck Higgins in like 1954, bro.
Wow.
So that's a motherfucker that's really part of his lineage. And, you know, I think about these funk freak dances and these things that we do. They're the direct descendants of those kind of dances, the original Art Laboe dances, where people come get dolled up, dressed to the nines, and
Yeah.
they come boogie to this rhythm and blues music.
Yeah.
And that's still what we're doing all these years in 2023.
Yeah.
We're the descendants of that. And so Johnny G is that guy. And then he evolved into the funk master of the 70s. He played all the instruments, every instrument, you know, overtracking himself on all that. And he died on stage in Japan in the 90s,
Damn.
playing, doing what he loved. He would play. He was really loved in Japan.
Wow.
He died on stage. Hit a note, fell on the floor. People
Damn.
thought it was part of the show. But he
Yeah.
croaked on stage, man.
Fuck.
Yeah, shout out
That's
to
what's up.
Johnny Guitar Watson the Great, my musical
That's what's
hero.
up.
Yeah, my musical hero.
Yeah. I mean, like, the one that touched me, I don't know what it is, was Rick James. And, like, I remember having dreams of, like, shit that Chappelle already did. But, like, I had dreams of it of just, like, going, like, yo, if you could have any performer before. Because Richard Pryor, he used to have, like, musicians perform before. He used to have Miles
Cool.
Davis.
Yeah, crazy.
Come on, dog. Imagine that. Miles Davis and then Richard Pryor.
See,
So
that's what I'm saying. And it's
that's
like they're similar. They're both playing in that moment. You know, that's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Jazz is like comedy, is like any improvisational art form.
Yeah, where
and
you
even
can
sports
show
are
it-
like that.
yeah.
Where it's like you have to respond in the moment.
Immediately.
It's happening right there. It's like sports. You're running this course,
Yeah.
you're doing this thing, you're playing that solo.
The way you talk about this guy is kind of the way people talk about Jimi Hendrix. Would you say there's something there? Because, like, I never saw him. Like, I just, you know how you said it's kind of loose.
and so Hendrix is from the same
Hold on.
archetype.
That's a great question.
No,
Hey,
you're absolutely right.
all right.
Hey, hold on. We got to give him props. He never asked a question.
He's Hendrix's progenitor. You know what I mean? And he was the one who came right before Hendrix. One of the original guitar supernovas of guitar music, of rhythm and blues music. You know what I mean? Little Richard, he's from the same archetype of guys like that. You know what I mean? And, you know, Hendrix started playing... he's you know, had his own thing, but then one of his early jobs before he was Jimi Hendrix, he was Little Richard's guitar player. Do you know that? He toured with Little Richard.
Oh, wow.
As his guitar player. And
What mainstream artist right now do you feel is funky?
I think any artist that comes out saying they funk, that's strike number one.
Okay.
And it's very unlikely that they hit me as what I consider the funk. And so there's cats like, I gotta
So
say,
Bruno Mars ain't funky?
that's a whole nother podcast, man. I could, we could talk about that, but that
No,
shit.
yeah. Go ahead, brother. Keep going.
But I'm not as up to date as I should be with all the current cats that pop up.
I feel you.
But there was like a few cats a few years ago. I remember there was one time I posted on, back when I was on Facebook, and I would say that shit, and there would be just like young rapper kids that are just tripped out and shit, and they would just post a video. And musically, it ain't got nothing to do with funk. It ain't no funk. But them and how they doing it on top of that beat, that's funkier than anything that can come out where they call it funk. All that shit, Tuxedo, Bruno Mars,
Yeah.
that shit whack to me, homie. I don't fuck with it.
Hey,
I don't fuck with it because it's like, man, they ain't here, boots on the ground. They don't really know like how this funk.
Yeah, they're sampling us.
They don't know what it means to the people that
Yeah.
consume it, you know. And I know people might or may not like that shit, but to me, it's like it's not coming from what I come from. You know what I mean? And this certain special thing that I represent.
I feel you, dog.
And this torch that I carry.
Nah, I
You
feel
know
you,
what I
man. It's
mean?
the pride,
And,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
You're a union steel worker. You can't have these fuckers show but just a fork and a hammer.
that's right. You said it, man.
You
And
know,
so,
like, dog, we have the
Our
whole
sh-
truck is full of tools.
yeah, man. I mean,
We
our
use.
shit is forged in the fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't learn this shit playing it at no nice little party. Like you learn to be funky playing it at gangster parties where if your shit whack, you're gonna get
up.
packed out. You
What's
know
the
what
most
I mean?
gangsters party you've been to where you were kind of like, damn, Holmes?
I've done a lot of them. One of my favorite stories. I've done a lot of them. One of my favorite stories that I've probably told before, but one time on stage with Little Rob, we were at OG Mike's, and it was just a shit show, man. And there was fights breaking out all across the crowd, and then all of a sudden these hyenas started fighting, and then somebody busted out pepper spray, and it went up into the fans, and we were on stage, and we were all choking, and then there was everybody fighting. It was like Roadhouse. It was beautiful. I was like,
Yeah.
this is the shit rock and roll dreams are fucking made of, man.
Straight
You know?
up.
And but I've done a lot of parties, man, and they've, you know, it's been amazing. I've been welcomed in many different zones, and
Yeah.
been able to come play this funk and be the dude that just comes to play the funk.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm here to do. I'm just a dude who comes to play the
Yeah.
funk. And and they always, maybe on the first song like they like this, but by the second song they like
Yeah,
this,
that's how it is, though.
And they fucking with me in the way that I represent the funk. And some like the way he do it, some like the way she do it. And
It's the way I do it.
and it's just the way I do it, man. And and they know, love me or hate me, man. I'm really playing this funk,
Yeah.
And I ain't playing modern funk. I ain't playing G funk. I ain't playing funk influenced, funk inspired. This kind of funk. I'm playing funk right now.
Straight up. That's
Just straight up funk.
Yeah, doggy, for me, it's a little different. If somebody in the crowd don't like me, hey, dog, I remember one time, everyone talks about this club. It was called Wild Coyote. It's in El Monte, it's in Montebello.
Oh.
It's off of Beverly and Poplar, dog.
What's it called?
It's called Wild Coyote.
Wild Coyote. Is that where they make Coyote ugly?
No, dog. Hey, homie, it's like, back in those days, it was Gabriel Iglesias, Felipe Esparza.
Is it a comedy club or just a nightclub?
No, it's a nightclub, but the Mexican comedians went there,
Huh.
and before I went, Oscar De La Hoya would go there every Wednesday because it would be the baddest fools in the game.
That's badass.
I went there right after he left.
What era are we talking, big dog?
What area?
What era?
2000 to 2009. I got locked up in 2009.
Yeah, cool.
So 2000
Not cool
to
that you got locked up,
2009.
but cool. I get you.
And hey, dog, I ain't gonna lie, fool. You could be funny as hell, but the crowd was a bunch of YA babies, a bunch of gangsters.
It was tough.
Drug dealers.
Tough.
So everybody in there, if you didn't come with it, they would like clown you. Then the crowd would be like, "Get him again, eh?
Get him again."
And, hey, dog, I remember I earned my respect there quick. And but one time, dog, this fool said something that I was just like, damn, dog, he beat me. But it wasn't being a dick, but it was. I was doing coke, and then I was drinking. And
On
I
a
went up
sick
there,
one?
On a sick one, dog, and I did good, though.
Yeah.
Because I flowed with it.
You were in
let
the
it
energy
beat
of the
me.
room. Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Let's just tell him what I'm feeling. And this guy goes, hey, homie, all the girls here know you're funny, dog. Hurry get off so we could dance, because when you're the last comedian. Yeah.
That's funny.
And then he was like, hey, the girl that I like, fool, she's laughing at everything you say.
Yeah,
dog.
man, you fucking
Come
my
on,
game up.
Yeah, he goes, I already brought her 4 drinks, homie. Come on, dog.
That's good. That's funny.
And then I was more like, hey, dog, why don't you shut the fuck up and let me go, dog? Like, what's, hey, homie, I'm at
It's
work.
making you look weak. Why are you tripping on me?
Yeah, and then, yo, dog, this over there they have this thing called spooners. Remember, you know what a spooner is? Like, what is it, like a 32-ounce glass?
Yeah, for like the big margaritas and shit.
Yeah, they make and dog, this fool fucking threw it at me, dog.
Fuck.
And
It got you?
nah, dog, and like I ain't trying to pump it up, but like it only had a little bit in it. And for some reason, a little bit stayed, dog. And, like, I caught it, but upside down. So only a little bit fell on the floor. It might have lost it on the way up. I was, you know when you're just like...
Yeah, you hit
like,
that matrix.
And then, like, I was just like, yeah. And then the adrenaline, dog.
You threw it back?
Yeah! What are you going to... You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah.
It's kind of like being in fucking a war and someone throws a grenade, you catch it, you're like, oh, shit.
That's that thing. That's what we're talking about. You know, that's that in the moment art form. You know what I mean? That it's like, you got to be sharp. You got to be fucking sharp, man. You got to be sharp for that shit. It's like you're out there playing a playoff game every time, you know?
Yeah.
You got to be able to respond in the moment and really, make the most out of that. Out of those moments, you know what I mean? Because same shit. Sometimes that shit will happen during a show, this or that. Not necessarily hecklers, but something that you just got to work with in the moment, you know. And those become the best things, you know. And that's when you rise up. I heard
I'd
somebody
be fucked up to heckle you. You're always saying some feed me shit.
But I heard somebody say something good recently. He said, when it comes down to it, you don't rise to the occasion, you sink to the level of your preparation or your training. And I thought that was good. You know, that's real.
It is.
You know, you sink to the level of your preparation in those moments where it's like, okay, bam, you just go right there for however much you train.
I can add to that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, I've told myself, hey, fool, you got away with it tonight. You were so funny enough.
Same shit.
They should have ate you up for fucking up, but you came back.
You
and
got away with
them.
it tonight.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah. Like, that shit worked against all odds.
Yeah.
It just fucking worked, man. And it's like, it might not ever even be able to be replicated. You know what I mean? But, yeah, you know, that's the magic
It's a
of
trip,
it.
dog.
And I think that it's like, after all the years, like, yeah, you've told the jokes. Yeah, I've played the songs. But you get good at making that magic in the moment. Really learning how to, like, make that moment just...
Yeah, but you know what
something.
sucks though, dog, is like, I want to hear you sing your songs over and over.
Yeah.
Me, they're like, nah, fool, we need a new joke every time we come. Like, I need a new 30 at least.
That's fucked up. If I had to make a whole different 30 every time, I've gotten good. You know, I've gotten lucky that I've been, I kind of make my sets.
It's a different patience, though.
Yeah, I change them a little bit each time, so I do a couple.
But that's
little
why
things
music
here and
is
there, but-
stronger, though. What you do is like, comedy's strong, but music is strongest, to me, art form that can carry. Like, you can like a song from 6th grade and religiously play that song.
Yeah.
You never liked a joke from 6th grade. You're like, yo, I got to listen to this
I'm
joke.
still telling it.
Yeah.
I'm still telling it, and it's still killing every time. Yeah, I understand.
Like, there's nothing worse, like George knows, at least for me. Like, when you're doing stand-up and you can hear the music next door, and you're like, yo, like, I'm trying to talk, and there's entertainment next door, and you're like,
yeah,
the crowd's already dancing, and you're like, yo.
I'm trying to tell a joke over this shit. Yeah, man, but
What would you tell an artist that's not rookie, but like 7 years in, and he's good, but he just fucking doesn't have his shit out?
Doesn't have his shit out? I would say, you got to put it out there.
Effort, right?
I would say, like somebody said to me once, man, your calling is calling you. It wants you more than you want it. You know what I mean? It's like, man, your calling is calling you. It needs you to do this shit, man. And the universe is a cushier place than you probably think it is. You put some shit out there and keep putting more out, man. And you throw enough little cobblestones, soon enough it'll become a brick, and then you have 2 bricks. And you keep throwing enough little small things, all of a sudden they'll start to make sense. And and there's people that'll fuck with you. There's always people that are gonna fuck with you. And just like I was saying, some like the way he do it, some like the way she do it, and the way you do it, as long as it's truly you, do it. And,
That's it.
and listen
But
to your
like-
heart and distill the essence. That's what's special. Nobody want to see you do somebody else's shit.
Yeah. So I got a question for you.
Yeah,
Say I'm like 4 years in and I'm kind of good, and I send you a DM.
Yeah.
Like, how do I do it? I'll be like, yo, first of all, I want to thank you, Diamond Ortiz, for opening my message, homie. Like, hey, dog, I want to play with you. I know you're huge, but I'm just taking a chance, dog, because I want to, maybe I can learn from you. Or like, how does someone do it the right way, dog?
How does someone do it the right way? Well, man,
Have you ever had to hit anybody up before?
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah, good question.
I mean, yeah, that is a good question. I've definitely had youngsters hit me up, and I always just try to be like, I always try to be the person I wished
Exactly.
there was when I needed it, when I
Yes.
needed them. You know what I mean? And hey, I can't like necessarily do anything for anybody because I mean, I'm just a motherfucker that's been able to put my own art out and get a little traction just bit by bit. I'm so many years in the game and I'm just getting started.
I ain't no manager.
Yeah, but it's like, man, I'd love to hear what you got, man. Show me what you're doing and show me why. Really, even more than what you're doing, show me why you're doing it.
That's a good motherfucker.
And then I'd be able to know more of like how to help you steer your own ship. Because the best people, you see them, and it doesn't make you go, I want to be just like him. It makes you go, I want to be just like me. The way if somebody doing it right and they're doing it just like them and they got their essence strong, and you're like, hey, that's how I want to be with my own shit.
Yeah.
And hopefully I could be, just a spark to somebody's flame out there, And I always say, man, I'm sure the next kid that's going to take my place, I don't even know he exists, but he's been watching all my videos since I've been doing them.
up.
He's like, that wasn't your best work, Diamond. There's already some kid out there doing that, I know. And the same way, I'm doing a lot of shit that Fingers, shout out to Fingers, my dog, really paved the way for me as funk artist, dude who worked in this, certain like slice of the culture. Fingers was doing a lot of shit, that primed the way for me to be able to do what I'm doing. And I love you, brother. And amazing
That's
musician,
what's up.
amazing dude who I was lucky to like spend a lot of time with one summer, like the summer of 2017. I got to kick it with Fingers a lot and learned a lot from being around him. And, so again, it's one of those things where there's a lineage of cats. And I really got to spend time around the cats that have done it before me, Little Rob and Fingers and
get
all
to
the guys
learn
in
a
the
lot.
Bay Area and my big brother Gabriel and so if any youngsters really want to learn and you want to ruin your life too, come talk to me. I can show you how I did
Straight up.
it.
You ready
I
to
can
give
show
up
you how I did it
weekends?
so you could ruin yours your own way.
Okay, so you said that your prodigy is basically already kind of born, right?
I'd imagine so,
Yeah,
right?
I would too. So,
Yeah.
but what I'm asking is, you basically gave a lesson before the break, like low-key on how this shit works, which I've never even seen it.
Cool.
And now you can go
Yeah.
on YouTube and type it in. How did you learn?
How
Like,
did I
because
learn?
this is like, I don't think there was no YouTube
Yeah.
back then. Like,
There
how
was
did
not.
you learn how to
Explore?
use that?
There was not. So I didn't even know. I was trying to find this clip to show you the other day, but I didn't even really know what it was, man. Because I grew up being a bass player, like I was saying. I'm a bass player, sing a little bit. I sing and play
Slapping
the
the
bass.
bass?
Fuck yeah, slap the
Slapping
shit
the
out of that
bass?
motherfucker. You feel me playing that funk, man, with the old guys, playing blues, playing funk. And, I think in melodies. I'm not like the world's greatest singer. You hear me on my records with a little bit of the auto-tune. You know what I mean? And, layer it with all this shit.
Hey, get her.
And,
Nah, she cool.
So, I grew up playing the bass, and then just one year I got like for Christmas, our mom and dad got like just the house a little cheap like Casio keyboard, and it had one sound I really loved, and basically, man, it just sounded just like this. And I started learning what I played on the bass. Okay, so if I go like this on the bass, it's going like this on the thing. Okay, so I started to be able to translate like my musical understanding from here to here.
From like a plaster to a cement mason,
Right.
from the wall to the floor.
So if I'm on the bass going bump, 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 playing Sly. Okay, this is how you do it here. Okay, so I learned how to like translate my ideas. Okay, so that's my basic understanding of executing my musical like ideas, right? And then I had this keyboard, and it was just like a sawtooth wave like this, and I would turn it down really low, and I would just spend hours just playing my bass lines.
Funky.
Okay, so now I'm playing my bass on my keyboard, right? And then I'd be here like, okay, so I love this song, and it goes like this. Bump. And that's how the melody goes. Okay, so that's what the singer is doing. And it's basically what I'm doing here on the guitar.
Oh.
So that's how I learned to do it. And then I was like, oh. And then one day, after I had my Thump Records tapes for a couple years, and I already, man, that was my shit, those Thump Records tapes. And I was like, do what, do, and more bounce. My brother one day, just one day, he's like, oh, that's a talk box. And I'm like, huh? He's like, it's a talk box.
No
and I said,
way.
a talk box? He's like, yeah, a talk box. He's like, actually, you need a talk box. And I'm like, a talk box? And so this clip I was trying to show you was hilarious. And I couldn't find it for the life of me. It's from like YouTube 2008 shit, but it's little tiny homies dolls that somebody animated, and they're talking to each other. And one says, hey, homie, I'm just playing my talk box. And he says, a talk box? He says, yeah, a talk box. A talk box? What's a talk box? He says, a talk box. For a talk box. He goes, a talk box? He says, yeah, like, he says, like Rogelio and them. He says, like Roger? He says, yeah, a talk box. Like a talk box? And it was the stupidest little 30-second homies doll clips. But that's the story of my life. A talk box? Yeah, a talk box. For a talk box? And so that's how I learned about it.
And then you were just like, what the fuck?
And then, so Gabe told me how it worked, and I was like, oh, a talk box. That's what I need, a fucking talk box. And so before I ever even got one, I was like, how do you, like, what is something similar? So I had the idea one day to get some earbuds, and just plug them into the back. And you put the earbud in your mouth, and it's basically the same as the tube. And so I would go to CVS and buy like a few pairs of the cheap ones, and they blow out after 30 minutes, and I'd play it. And then I finally found one on Craigslist for like $60, and I borrowed my mom's car and drove to Berkeley and bought it off this crusty like stoner white dude. He's like, here you go, I never could fucking figure it out. And I took it home, and I had already fucked with all the earbuds and envisioned it so much. The first night I got it, I was recording, and my first song I ever did, this was 2008, I went, I'm only human. I'm only human. That was my first way that I made it. And that was my first talk box. And then about a year later, I'd gotten a little bit of a better piece of gear, the one called the Banshee. And this was when I was still living in the Bay Area. And I was like, I always envisioned myself coming to LA and being part of this whole thing. And this was that kind of like a nether region of like eras. Like, it was neither here nor there. It was before the Jerkin era. It was after the hyphy era.
Mac Dre.
I think he'd already passed at this point. Anyway, so it was like the music that was happening was neither really here nor there. I was on Craigslist in LA just looking on the music listings, and some guy said, does anybody know how to use auto-tune? And I answered, I was like, no, but I just got this talk box and I be jamming. And he's like, bet you fuck with hip hop? And I'm like, sure. Whatever. He sent me a track with a brand new rapper nobody had ever really heard of called Nipsey Hussle. And
no way.
And the first song I ever did that said featuring Diamond Ortiz with the talk box was 2010. Nipsey Hussle, Diamond Ortiz, Golden State of Mind. And I was
let me hear that.
We could pull it up. And I was renting a living room, and I had a sheet as a wall. Just a big white sheet pinned from corner to corner. And I lived in the living room. I have my little MacBook. And I went, well, it's a gold. Well, it's a gold. How did it go? Golden state of mind. We hustling all the time. It was called Golden State of Mind.
Yeah, Golden. I heard Nipsey Hussle when I was in prison.
Badass. What year?
2010.
See, same year.
Yeah,
it was just
2009
happening.
maybe. No, maybe 2009 because he had a song called Bullets with No Name.
That might have been right after. I don't know, actually. I couldn't tell you about his timeline much.
Yeah.
Aside from outside of L.A., like, it wasn't popping like that yet.
Yeah, but in prison, that shit was cracking.
But yeah, I'm sure. And so my boy Disco Boogie, shout out to my brother Disco who put me on, man, and took a chance on me and really paved the way for a lot of this shit. So that song was big, like on the internet streets, like that summer. This was when blogs and message boards were still happening, and there was something called remember it was called Dub CNN.
No, I was busted.
Dub CNN, yeah. And it was like popular on like on the message boards,
That's
and it was
cool.
like, and that was the
They was
first time
digging
Diamond
that
Ortiz.
shit.
And I'd never like I grew up playing in bands with the old guys. I never had any music online that like people were fucking with. They're
Yeah.
like Diamond Ortiz. Who is Diamond Ortiz? And I didn't even have any funk out yet, you know.
Oh shit.
And I just had that, and then he put me on with Corrupt and all these cats, and so shout out to Disco Boogie.
Hell
shout
yeah,
out to
my
Nipsey
boy.
Hussle, and
Hell
so
yeah.
so the first thing I ever did, I said featuring Diamond Ortiz, was with Nipsey Hussle, man, 2010, and I have that. Like that's so
That's
cool.
that's awesome.
So
dog.
cool, man.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
but then you're still in the game. Well, hey, dog.
all these years.
We barely got to scratch the surface, but
Yeah.
I love what you did. I know you got places to be, and yo, man, please come back. But before that, where can all my fans follow you? Music, shows, concerts. Like, how can more of my fans get to know you better, dog? Because that's why I brought you. Like, yo, man, y'all fools don't know this shit right here is cracking. It's coming.
Gracias. First
For
off, thank you
sure.
so much, George. Thank you, George and X, for having me in the house. Honor to be here tonight on the George P podcast, man. Fucking honor. Super fucking
Gracias.
dope. And shout out to Fools Gone Wild for bringing us
Straight up.
together.
And Funk Freaks.
And Funk Freaks, man. And it's
Straight
all just
up.
fam.
To
It's
my boy
it's a
Loser,
family
Lure,
affair.
Debo.
The whole
Nothing but
crew.
love, the whole crew.
All the Funk Freaks. All the Fools Gone Wild fam. We love y'all, man. And thank you guys for everything. And thank you for giving me a place to do my thing.
Yeah.
And appreciate you, George. And yeah, come fuck with me, man. You can find all my music anywhere that you listen to it, online, stream it, YouTube. Find me on Instagram. And just give me a shout. Say
what's
what's
your
up.
handle so they know?
At Diamond Ortiz with two
Okay.
Z's, because some little 9-year-old girl took the original Diamond Ortiz and then abandoned her shit for like 10 years, and I've been trying to get that motherfucker back. But I'm Diamond Ortiz with two Z's.
See?
If come find me on there, man, and you know I got a bunch coming up. Our next one I'm playing this Saturday, October 7th. You know, they hit me up and I donated some of my time. I'm playing at the Hope Fest, where they're giving out food and haircuts.
That's
for
what's
the-
up, doggy dog.
For the unhoused community. We got me and the Delphonics and a bunch of great acts
shit.
opening. And so that's out in Pomona. Look up the Hope Fest this Saturday. After that, the 15th, you know, I haven't confirmed it, but I may or may not be in Vegas. And I'm also October 13th, 99 Bottles, Anaheim, Anacrime, California, for the DJ
That's
CeeLo's
down
Funk
the
Freaks
street.
B-Day. Yeah, man, so we're going to be there. Big Bad 99. 21st, I think I'm doing a little private party. And then November 4th, I'm playing in fucking Big Bad Rancho Cucamonga. homie.
Hell yeah, Retro Cucamonga.
For the homegirls party, it's me and Joey Quinones and Mariah Villa, and we're doing a birthday party for the homegirl,
That's what's
Elvia.
up.
So we'll be out there, man, and just a few things, but stay with me on the gram, and shout out to the Funk Freaks. Make sure you follow them and all
And
the
hit the
guys in the
boutique.
crew. And make sure you follow Big Bad George Perez if you
Oh,
don't
you
already.
know.
Go to his shows. And hey, thank you for having me. Much
For
love,
sure,
big
my
dog.
Boy. Gracias, brother.
Gracias.
Hey, October 11th, I will be at Coyote Studios roasting the Popeye. It's the roast of Popeye. Me, Frank Castillo, Earl Skakel, Brian Moses, Tommy Three Plates, Kim Congdon, Martin Moreno. And surprise drop-ins. November 2nd, I'm at the Comedy Store main room. It's almost sold out. Hey, what? It's like a month away?
Month away. To
And
exactly
there's only
30
like
days away.
general admission left.
Yep, don't miss out.
And I don't know where else I am, but
Fuck.
I don't know.
No.
We'll find out.
Yeah, well, hit that like button, subscribe, and get us to 20,000. Come on, get us to 20,000.
Yo, but before we go, the homie's going to close you out with some real deal. So, yo, if you stayed and you tuned in like a soldier, we got Diamond Ortiz right here dropping gold on you guys.
That's right. California Freaks. Oh, hey, we got the Bluetooth disconnected. Stand by.
Oh, stand
Hold on.
by, stand by, stand by. Hit that like button. Go to Gunthers.com.
DJ, bring it back.
Bring it back.
Bring it back, Mr. DJ.
There it is.
There we go.
Ha. California Freaks. Shout out Santana, California. Orange County, California.
Calling all California freaks. California freaks, where y'all at? California freaks, dancing to the beat. Baby, baby, California freaks. Ooh, dancing to the beat. Now listen. You can be what you want to be in California. Pretty cars and shining stars where pretty girls, they have more fun. Material things like diamond rings and movie stars, cruise limousines. A party here, a party there, on the beach, they everywhere. Say what? California freaks.
It's just banging.
Dancing to the beat. Yeah. California freaks. Hey, dancing to the beat. California freaks.
Yo, this is George Prez Stories, episode 333. Diamond Ortiz, blessing it. Gracias, brother.
Gracias, homie.
X to the G. Send them out.
Let's go, late.
Laters.
I'm going to call you T Grizzly because you do that shit with no effort.
What's up, my boy?
From that city with juice, ain't no pity or truces. When we dip and gun smoke's conclusive. Don't act clueless, hella foolish in the 90s. And GP shotgun when we ride. Solid on the yard, name hard on these streets. Did my crimes, gangster rhymes on dope beats. Still fuck laws, ain't no pause in our demeanor. Rest in peace, Muggsy and my road dog creeper. Ways to put it down, no fear of new cases. Years ago, though, it was guns and chases. 714 on my shoulders, kept it active. Roll like soldiers, G-code ain't passive. Still macking ratchet, still packed at the waist. Still stacking racks, still flash when they hate. Now it's podcasts and videos with pretty hoes. Me and George banging orange till the city's known, really though.
OG way. We keep it moving smooth like every day. Every day. They gonna know that homie, we don't play. It's going down for sure, for sure.
Real G's in this industry.
So they gonna how we do it on these streets for sure. Streets for sure. We make that green, don't you know, logo. We making moves all day, all day, all day.
Grew up in the streets of the LB. We don't love these hoes, what they tell me. Packed up and moved to the OC. Me and George ballin' like Shaq and Kobe. Fuck bitches, get money, living wealthy. Bad bitches screaming, let me get a selfie. Big stop, GP, some real G's. Side dick is the general of an army. XG podcasting in the morning. Don't say FA, here's your warning. That other bullshit be boring. With some goofy ass question that's corny. Tommy, let me finish my story. Shooting shots, game 6, rubber Ori. Smoking blunts in the bus while I'm touring. Now welcome to George Perez Stories.
OG way. We keep it moving smooth like every day. Every day. They gonna know that homie, we don't play. It's going down for sure, for sure.
Real G's in this industry.
So they gonna how we do it on these streets for sure.